Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everyone. Listen, before we get on to this, I'm just going to throw this out there, right? I'm like maybe 6 glasses of red wine in, so what I say cannot be taken as gospel. But listen, what I am going to say is gospel. And this is kind of a message to America because the British Empire has fallen. Britain has fallen. I'm going to be talking. I'm going to be talking today about the absolute, like, I never thought I'd be doing these. I never thought I would be doing these analysis in the United Kingdom. I never thought I would be making these considerations to the United Kingdom. You always think that Britain is stable. You always think that the United Kingdom is not going to fall. However, it really does look like the United Kingdom has already fallen. We have been colonized. Do you know what? I'm going to change that. Let me change this. I'm going to change this right now in real time. Britain has been colonized. That's what I need to change it to. Britain, it's not fallen, it's been colonized. Give me a second. Britain has been I think I can do that. Yeah, I can absolutely do that. There we go. Boom! I roll with that. That's how Raven rolls, guys. Listen, you guys are not on here because I do things like logistically or historically. You guys are on here because I give you guys raw, real data analysis in real times. So listen, let me just get on to. I've got a couple of things I need to share with you guys. I'm just gonna start with this video. I'm going to start with this video because Britain has been absolutely colonized, okay? I'm going to share with you guys this video, and listen, if you're joining for the first time, I'm probably going to share this video a few times, certainly more than twice. It's only a short video, but it's so important that everybody understands. Everybody understands, okay? So let me share this with you guys now. Is it that one? Yeah.
If you really want to deal with the major issues of immigration, with people opting to take benefits rather than working for a living, if you want to deal with that, then you're going to have to do some things which are unpopular and show some courage.
And has this government done that?
No, I think they I don't know whether it's just the apparatus that hasn't allowed Keir to do it, or he's maybe too nice. He's a nice. I mean, I know Keir. He's a nice man. I like him, but it's a tough job, and I think you have to do some difficult things with the UK to get it back on track, because at the moment I don't think the economy is in a good. You can't afford. You can't have an economy with 9 million people on benefits, and huge levels of immigrants coming in. I mean, the UK is being colonized. It's costing too much money. It will cause. It'll cause. Well, yeah. The UK is being colonized by immigrants, really, isn't it? I mean, the population of the UK was 58 million in 2020. Now it's 70 million. That's 12 million people.
You met recently with Nigel Farage, didn't you?
I did.
Do you think that they would be a good government if they were to win the next election?
I think Nigel is an intelligent man, and I think he's got good intentions, but in a way you could say exactly the same about Keir when Keir came in. I think it needs somebody who's prepared to be unpopular for a period of time to get the big issues sorted.
Look, guys, I'm going to share that video with you guys a few times in this live stream, and let me just be clear, all right? I am not a nice person. I'm a person who will I'm a person, all right, who will look at the direction of travel. I will look what is best for the greater good, and I will make that shit happen by hook or by crook. That's the way I've been taught. That's the way I will always go down. That is the route I will always travel. Doesn't matter how many eggshells you are, doesn't matter how many eggs you are breaking, doesn't matter the carnage. If the greater good, if the outcome is greater than the cost, then the outcome is worth the cost. There's no denying that. That metric is quite simple. I just shared with you guys there a video from I think his name's Peter Radcliffe. He is the part owner of Manchester United. He's a billionaire. He's one of Britain's billionaires. And he is literally telling you guys what I've been telling you guys for a long time. We are being colonized. We are over. The United Kingdom is pretty much over. The amount of fight that we have now, and every day, every week, every month, every day, every dime, every dollar, every day that we let these things go on, the harder it's going to be. So, for example, let's just say that, and I'm going with what this guy said. What's his name? I think his name's Sir Peter Radcliffe, or Jim Radcliffe, or whatever. Every day that we let more migrants come into our country, and we give them a hotel, we give them 3 meals a day, we give them healthcare, we give them human rights, we give them the British culture, right? You know, oh, what? Oh, you want to come into our country, do you? Yeah. Oh, well, there's some girls over there playing on a park. They're only 12 years old. Go and play with them. Yeah. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Sick motherfuckers at the top, right? I'm trying to calm myself, ladies and gentlemen. I really am. I'm trying to calm myself because I've got so much to get through tonight. And I am going to share that video quite a few times. So what we're saying here is Britain has been colonized already. We've been colonized by migrants. And when people say, oh, but we're still the majority, guess what, princess? You are not the majority. If you live in Britain and you are between 20 and 40 and you identify as a white British man, you are no longer the majority. No, you are not. You are not the majority. Britain is no longer majority British. We have new British here, you know, those guys from Uganda, Eritrea, beautiful countries, fantastic countries with great culture, great political systems. You know, we can all remember the great Ugandan special forces operations that went behind enemy lines and did some great stuff. You guys can all remember the great Eritrean miracles that they did. The great Eritreans, how they created, you know, the Eritreans, how they created technological marvels of the world. We can all remember that, right? We can. And if you can't remember those things, you're clearly racist. You're clearly a right-wing racist. What I'm getting at here, ladies and gentlemen, is this is a video, and I want to try and reach out to Americans because Britain has already fallen. We've already been colonized. What I want to do is in this video, try and reach American customers, right? American viewers, and just say to them, this is what happens when you go full woke. When you go full woke, this is what happens. And I will be sharing this video a couple of times. So look, ladies and gentlemen, I've got two things to talk about today. First of all is the visit between Benjamin Netanyahu. Well, look, there's the second thing I want to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about, actually, is the incident that happened 2 days ago involving a 13-year-old boy that went stabby and ran to a mosque. Now, whether you want to say that's Islamist or not, whether you want to say that's terrorist related or not, that has a clear identifiable trope now to Islam. If any Muslims are out there, right, you want to call me out on that, and you want to argue with me on that, I honestly, I open my channel up to debate. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. The second thing I'm going to talk about is World War III, the United States. Hang on, give me a second. The second thing I want to talk about is the United States of America, the US of A, and their ever-growing direction of travel of war in the Middle East. Look, I was telling you guys this was going to happen. I was telling everyone, you know what? I'm so like, my videos age like a fine cheese. They get better by the day. They get better by the hour. 2 years ago, before Donald Trump was even elected, I did videos. They weren't the best videos. I was using a different camera, and the camera had this little like whining noise behind it if you watch it on a big screen. But if you watch it on your phone, it's okay. I don't know. But maybe 2 years ago, maybe longer, I did videos. I did 4 videos, and I said Trump will in boots on the ground, US boots on the ground, Iran, March 2026. Trump will invade Iran, March 2026. Excuse me. One more. Maybe I've got another. I think I have. Oh, shit. I don't usually do 4, but I did today. That's how bad things are, ladies and gentlemen. That is how bad things are. I normally do 3 sneezes. If I'm sneezing, I do 3. But today I did 4. That's how much it shows you. So I'm going to be talking about the second thing, okay, guys? Donald Trump with... Oh, I may even do 5. I'm going to do 5. Oh, shit. I may even do 6. Jesus, I am a serial sneezer because I'm so in tune to what's happening in the world. When I smell bullshit, I just sneeze, right? And when I smell bullshit, I just sneeze. Right, so first of all, so much happening in the world right now. Literally, I'm doing these live streams by the hour. I think I need to do maybe 3 a day. I'm doing 3 a day. Maybe I need to do 4. Right, so you know what? I've been waffling for a while. So let me jump onto the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Right, I'm going to jump onto the chat right now. Am I even going to do 6? Am I going to do 6? It's not possible. No, it's necessary. No, I'm not going to do 6. Gun Commando is saying Sean needs a hazmat suit. Maybe I do. Maybe I do, guys. Maybe I do need a hazmat suit. Maybe I don't. James is saying we used to have the empire that covered much of the world, and we invited them back, all of them. Yeah. Listen, if we can build this channel to sufficient numbers, I promise you, listen, James, ladies and gentlemen that watching right now, this is my promise to you. If we can build this channel to sufficient numbers, right? The first thing I'm going to do, if we get sufficient numbers, right? We are going to have a stronghold in the United Kingdom. We are then going to deploy our... Look, we're going to take it all back. We're going to take it all back. We will. If you guys can like, share, comment, subscribe, that would help. It really would. So look, guys, before I get onto this live stream, I know I've just been like going wild. Make sure, if you're on right now, you've not done so already, hit those buttons below, the like, comment, subscribe, bell notification, whatever. Shit, I said I was going to do this on TikTok, didn't I? Give me a second. Sorry, I said I was going to. Do you know what? I'm not even going to bother with those guys. I'm not. Do you know what? I don't lie. Raven doesn't lie. Right. Okay, let me get this on TikTok. Give me a second. I said to TikTok I was going to be on TikTok. Totally forgot. Now my phone's being slow. Show me a shoe. So live. Guys, just bear with me for 2 seconds. Right. Sorry, I'm just, listen, this is my moral compass, right? I said to TikTok that I would do a live stream tonight, and I am absolutely would. And that's where I go, guys. That's my moral compass, right? That is 100% my moral compass. I don't let people down. If I say I'm going to be there at 2 o'clock, I will be there at 1:55. That's how Raven rolls, ladies and gentlemen. That is how Raven rolls. Right, so let's just get into this. Let's go first thing first, okay? Britain has already been colonized. I've given you that. I've given you guys that video, but you know what? I said I'm going to give it you a few times, and I'm going to give it you, ladies and gentlemen, again. So the United Kingdom of Great Britain, we have already been colonized. Yes, we've been colonized. So you know all these people wanting reparations are like, you know all the Africans, you know David Lammy, we want reparations. Please give me reparations. Yes, I want reparations. You know David Lammy, how he loves reparations. I love David Lammy. I love Diane Abbott. I love everyone. I've got so much love in my heart. So much love in my heart. We will never be apart. What about when Britain is colonized by Islam? Are we going to get reparations from Islam when we become slaves? I think not. However, let me share this back with you guys, and this is the second time I'm sharing it. I make no apologies because everything, absolutely everything that is said in this video is 100% true to the United Kingdom right now. Ladies and gentlemen, wake up and smell the coffee.
Would be my view.
Yeah, that didn't have the effect I wanted. Right, ladies and gentlemen, wake up and smell the coffee.
If you really want to deal with the major issues of immigration, with people opting to take benefits rather than working for a living, if you want to deal with that, then you're going to have to do some things which are unpopular and show some courage.
And has this government done that?
No, I think they...
Just to let everyone know, I'm willing to do things that are unpopular. I'm willing to do things. I'm willing to show courage. I'm willing to make those decisions that no one else will. I'm willing to be the bad man that nobody likes for the greater good of the empire. And I want an empire. I don't think that Britain should relinquish its grasp on the rule of the world without, listen, Britain, there are only 32 countries that Britain has not invaded. I'm willing to say, and I'm going to throw it out there for every patriot out there, that's already 32 too many. And I'm willing to make that one less.
I don't know whether it's just the apparatus that hasn't allowed Keir to do it, or...
Absolutely. It's the apparatus. It's not, it doesn't matter who you vote for. I keep fucking saying this time and time again, ladies and gentlemen. Time and time again. Like this hairbrush is pink. I've got a pink hairbrush. The bristles are not even that firm. I throw it over my fucking shoulders because I don't care. My hairbrush is pink. On the other side it's black. But don't worry, the bristles are not firm. It does not matter. It's not Keir Starmer. It's not Nigel Farage. It's not Rishi Sunak. It's the apparatus. It's the system that does not allow people to make those decisions. If we had the system, if we had the apparatus, if we had the legal structure, i.e., if we had a constitution, we would all motherfuckers be living in broad, sunlit uplands. But we are not. No, we're not. We are all living in fear, scared to go out after dark because we're scared of migrants on the streets, doing stuff to our kids, doing stuff to our adults, taking what they want, and we are paying for that, motherfuckers.
Or he's maybe too nice. He's a nice, I mean, I know Keir, he's a nice man, I like him. But it's a tough job, and I think you have to do some difficult things with the UK to get it back on track, because at the moment, I don't think the economy is in a good, you can't afford, you can't have an economy with 9 million people on benefits.
9 million people on benefits. So it turns out, I'm restricted. Fuck's sakes. Right, listen, TikTok, I tried TikTok. I'm restricted. TikTok, I am restricted, right? I am restricted. I'm going to turn you guys off on TikTok. I do it all the time. I don't know why I do it. I don't know why I do it. You guys on TikTok, I'm sorry. I'm going to continue this live stream on YouTube. I'm just going to get banned otherwise. I'm the Real Raven one on YouTube. I'm the Real Raven one on X. Go show your support over there. I'm not even going to give you a 2-minute warning. I'm just going to turn you guys off. TikTok's the Convoy Divine, Dos Bedania. And that's the over. Are we off? Are we off? Oh, fucking hell. Are we off? Yeah, there we are. Honestly, how fucking anal is that? I don't even know what I said. I don't even care what I said. Listen, guys, you've got to understand, everybody has to understand how restrictive the world is right now. You've got influencers who are trying to chase the cash. They're trying to chase money. They're doing whatever they can say for the algorithm. I do not give a flying fuck. I don't give a flying fuck. When I get 1 view, 10 views, I tell you guys the truth as I see it through my own eyes. And you know what? If you guys throw it out to me, you guys give me an alternate opinion, and I agree with that, I will agree with that. And I've done that many times on these live streams, guys. You guys have come up and you've said, not Boggy, I love Boggy, but he's never done that to me. He's been silent for a while. Boggy is like a massive liberal, and he jumps up here, he's saying, oh, but Sean, you're anti-immigration. How about instead of worrying about immigrants, we just try and manage the problem correctly? Alan, shut up. All right. Let me continue.
And huge levels of immigrants coming in. I mean, the UK is being colonised. It's costing too much money. It will cause. It'll cause. Well, yeah. The UK is being colonised by immigrants, really, isn't it? I mean, the population of the UK.
If you live in the United Kingdom right now, right now, how do you feel about that? What he's saying is true. Whether you want to agree with that or not, we have been colonized. I promise you, we are now a colony of, we are now a colony of Afghanistan, Eritrea, South Sudan, Nigeria. We are colonies of Nigeria because they've sent their people over here, and their people now live here, and they're forming Nigerian communities. They're forming beautiful, fantastic Somalian communities, Pakistani communities, Bangladeshi communities, all that are fantastic. And look, guys, I genuinely mean that. I do. I love it when I see a Pakistani community fighting with an Indian community. Actually saying that, I'm just thinking right now, I listen, I've been hanging out for a curry for a long time, and I really need, I absolutely need a lamb boona, a chicken madras, 4 poppadoms and a pickle tray, 2 chapatis, a keem naan, and some pilau rice. That's what I need right now. It is. However,
it was 58 million in 2020. Now it's 70 million.
so the population of the United Kingdom was 58 million in 2020. Tony Blair! Now we are 70 million.
That's 12 million people.
You met recently with Nigel Farage, didn't you?
I did.
Do you think that they would be a kind of a good government if they were to win the next election?
I think Nigel is an intelligent man, and I think he's got good intentions, but in a way you could say exactly the same about Keir when Keir came in.
Remember what I've said, ladies and gentlemen. I've met Nigel. I've met Farage. What he's saying there is exactly what I've said. He's an intelligent man. He is. Look. If anyone meets Nigel Farage and says he's not intelligent, you're a buffoon. You're a buffoon. I've met Farage. He's a bit thick. No. Nigel Farage he may or may not be a lot of things, but his cognitive capacity is never up for question. He's a very intelligent man. He understands these different. Nigel Farage understands these different. I don't even know how to put this. Nigel Farage understands what's happening, right? And he's trying to make the best of a bad deal. For example, right? If you've got a tribe of 1 million, let's go Lord of the Rings, right? Let's go Lord of the Rings. If you've got the orc army coming towards you, and there's 1 million of them, right? And there's 1 million of them, and you've got 6 men defending your town, what's the odds for your survival? Not good, right? It's not good. So whether you are the most intelligent, patriotic man, to say, let's stand and fight, we will never surrender. Yeah, you're gonna get steamrolled by 1 million orcs. And then your 6 men are gonna be gone. So you need to do what's best with what you've got. Remember, Nigel Farage has not been elected yet, and I'm not convinced he will. I will share that video a couple of times. Let me stop sharing it, actually. Let me stop sharing it before I say I'm not going to share it anyway. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, let me talk real quick about the situation that we are in the United Kingdom right now. Because I'm just going to go into this, guys. There's no way I can do this, all right? There was a stabbing, was it Tuesday? I don't even know what day it is. I think it was, I know it was the 10th. There was a stabbing. And listen, if you're from the United States, you guys need to pay absolute attention right now. So I don't even know what day it is. What day it is? Is it Wednesday? I don't know. Anyway, the 10th, whatever day the 10th was, the 10th of February, at a high school in North London, a 13-year-old boy, a former pupil, i.e. he'd been suspended, allegedly, walked in during the lunch hour. He entered a first-floor classroom, sprayed something at a pupil who wasn't hurt. So I can only assume that may have been listen, guys. When I do these live streams, if there's anyone out there who's got real-world information and it's wrong, and what I'm saying is wrong, please call me out. But what I'm understanding is this guy, he climbed over a wall. 13 years old. Jesus Christ, we are fucked. We're fucked. So, the gentleman in question, the boy in question, the child in question, the 13-year-old in question, allegedly, he climbed over a wall, he climbed over the school fence, he walked in during lunch hour, he entered a first floor classroom, he reportedly, and this is all on social media, this is all over the mainstream, and I'm quite confident talking about it now, so I'm earlier on, I was a little bit difficult talking about it because a lot of the stuff was only on X. He sprayed something, whether that was whatever that was. He sprayed something. And if you're spraying something, it's going to be a chemical, right? The definition is literally a chemical, all right? So, i.e., a boy moved in there and he sprayed a chemical in that classroom. There's no denying that. The people are reporting that he sprayed something at a pupil and potentially others who wasn't hurt. Then turned on others with a sharpie thingy. Boys aged 12 and 13 did take the sharp end of that blunt instrument. One in the classroom, one the other, as the attacker fled down the hallway and out of the building. Both victims, so what we say, it's very difficult to understand what happened, but what I think happened is there was one victim, somebody else, and then there was another one as he fled down the corridor. Both victims are in hospital as we speak, but in stable condition. One of them, in the chaos, tried to raise the alarm, perhaps pulling a fire bell, shouting for help before the suspect chased them down and struck them. Is this how we're going, guys? Is this how we're going now? Is this where we're going? Great Britain. Great Britain, the father of physics, modern technology, the Industrial Revolution. Have we been colonized by the third world? It does seem so from the video I showed you guys earlier, right? So now it looks like Britain, although we invented physics, not democracy, that was the Greeks. It looks like Britain, after everything we've done, we are giving that. No, we're not giving it. We are paying. We are paying through our taxes to give that away. The Chagos Islands is the best fucking example. Hey, everyone. Hey, Britain. Hey, Britain. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. Do you want to keep your institution and your democracy? No, I want you to pay you to come and rape our children and stab our sons. Oh, okay, yeah. How much are you going to pay us? Well, what does it cost? Well, whatever it costs, 10x it and we'll come and do it. Abso-fucking-lutely. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we've got David Lammy on the scene, and David Lammy is the most intellectually... David Lammy, listen, as far as I'm concerned, David Lammy is the most intellectually... David Lammy is the highest intellect that this country has to offer. And I support that, absolutely. So... witnesses, remember, ladies and gentlemen, witnesses, lots of witnesses now are saying that the attacker shouted, "Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar!" Depending on your, depending on your pronunciation. God is greatest is what that translation is. So now we're building up this picture, aren't we, right? Where a boy allegedly shouted, remember guys, this is out on mainstream media. This is mainstream media now. I'm not speculating. This is all over the mainstream media. We've got a boy 13 shouting, "Allah Akbar." God is greatest, doing stabby. 13. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Police are not treating this as a declared terrorist incident yet, but like I said earlier on the live stream, counterterrorism police are leading the investigation. Now, this is where the details become very difficult to digest. And they become very, these details become very difficult to digest. So, after fleeing the school, so imagine the scene, right? A boy, I'm gonna imagine his skin color the same as mine. He's probably got blonde hair, blue eyes, and he's probably like a Norwegian. He's probably, look, we've got no description of this guy. We've got no description of the guy, the 13-year-old guy who went stabby, shouting Allahu Akbar, right? We have got no description of that, right? So I'm saying, in my opinion, and this may be wrong, I'm thinking he's got blue eyes, like my beautiful blue eyes. Yeah, motherfuckers. Yeah, blue eyes, black hair. How often does that motherfucker roll? Blue eyes, black hair. I'm gonna say he's got. Sorry, I'm gonna say this guy's got blue eyes, pale skin, and beautiful blonde hair, and he's probably of Norwegian descent. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, I might be wrong. Anyway, it turns out. Yeah, it turns out, and here's where it gets hardest to digest, right? We obviously, I'm not gonna jump to any assumptions. After fleeing, the 13-year-old boy was tracked down and arrested later that afternoon. Not on the streets. No, he wasn't on the streets hiding in some alleyway. He didn't go home to his mum and dad. No. He was arrested at a mosque. He was arrested at a mosque. He was arrested at a mosque. Officers received reports of a child in distress at a mosque, and they attended quickly and took him into custody on suspicion of attempted murder, and he remains in custody. I don't know. Maybe he was. I don't listen, guys. I don't know the ethnicity of this gentleman, this boy, because he's 13. We are never gonna know. My initial thoughts are that he's a Norwegian fisherman. He's the son of a Norwegian fisherman, and those Norwegian fishermen's rights are just getting lower and lower. That's my initial thoughts, all right? So think about that for a second, right? A boy, barely in his teens, literally, he's 13, right? He's barely in his teens, walks into a school, right? So a boy, literally 13. This is what the mainstream media is telling us. If what I'm saying is wrong, I'm going off the mainstream media, right? So don't quote me on it. Do quote me on it. I am going off the mainstream media. This is what we know, right? A boy, 13, goes into a school. He goes stabby. He runs to a mosque. Oh, fuck me. I've run to the mosque where I'm safe. What does that mean for the United Kingdom? What does that mean? So when I went back to this video, so I'm going to share with you guys this video. I'm going to share it again. I don't care. I'm going to share this video again. I'm going to share this video again because we need to understand that the United Kingdom has already been colonized. We're being colonized.
If you really want to deal with the major issues of immigration, with people opting to take benefits rather than working for a living, if you want to deal with that, then you're going to have to do some things which are unpopular.
I will do that shit that's unpopular. 100%. I don't give a shit. If I'm in charge, I will. Every decision I make will be unpopular, but you know what? It will work. Because I'm the Raven, and I make shit work.
And show some courage.
And has this government done that?
No, I think they I don't know whether it's just the apparatus that hasn't allowed Keir to do it, or he's maybe too nice. He's a nice. I mean, I know Keir. He's a nice man. I like him, but it's a tough job, and I think you have to do some difficult things with the UK to get it back on track, because at the moment, I don't think the economy is in a good. You can't afford. You can't have an economy with 9 million people on benefits, and huge levels of immigrants coming in. I mean, the UK is being colonised. It's costing too much money.
Did you hear that? The United Kingdom is being colonised. We're not fucking about now, guys. We're not fucking about. We've already been colonised. And you Gen Xers, Gen X. Oh, I'm Gen X. I had a right good time, me. I had a right good time. Yeah, you fucking Gen Xers. It's your fault. I know I'm going to get a load of shit in the chat for this, but that's the reality. Look, it's probably not your fault, but it is your fault. There's no denying it. If you guys want to take apart what generation is responsible for the fall of the empire, it's Gen X.
It'll cause. Well, the UK has been colonised by immigrants, really, isn't it? I mean, the population of the UK was 58 million in 2020. Now it's 70 million. That's 12 million people.
You met recently with Nigel Farage, didn't you?
I did.
Do you think that they would be a good government if they were to win?
Watch the direction of his head.
The next election?
I think Nigel is an intelligent man, and I think he's got.
You can't fucking hide that shit. You can't hide that shit. You cannot hide that shit, right? Hello, mate. Jim, do you think Nigel Farage would be a good leader of the United Kingdom? Yeah, I think he'd be absolutely fantastic as a leader of the United Kingdom. Yeah, if you're shaking your head, it means no.
If they were to win the next election?
I think Nigel is an intelligent man, and
so I learned all this stuff. It's called NLP. I think it's like non-linguistic programming. I don't know. I don't actually know what NLP stands for. But if anybody understands what NLP stands for, put it in the chat. But when I was in the military, right, and I was in the military for quite a while. You did something called there was 3 things: tactical questioning, resistance to interrogation, and this, like non-linguistic, whatever it is. But basically, you can look at someone, right? You can ask them a question. Doesn't matter what they say. Look at their body language, right?
I think he's got good intentions, but in a way you could say exactly the same about Keir when Keir came in.
Right, I'm going to leave that there. I am going to leave that there. I'm going to jump onto the chat. Am I going to jump onto the chat? I don't even know, because I've got so much to get through today. I've got so much to get through. I'm going to look. We're at 40. We're at like. We are at 44 minutes, and we're not even halfway through, right? Listen, I'm going to throw this out there again. Americans, right? Pay attention, okay? Britain has already been colonized. I need to change that. I'll change it later. Do you know what? I'll change it now or I'll forget. Britain. So what do I need to change that to? Britain has already been. So let me take that out. There we go. Save. Right, there we go. So look, if you're American, right, you guys need to look at what's happening in the United Kingdom. You may think that you're doing well. You may think that you're doing good. You may think that you're opening the borders. You may think that you are helping those that are needy. Shut the fuck up. Look what's happening to me and my family right now. I'm lucky. I'm lucky because I've got friends in Texas. I'm lucky because I'm lucky because I've got friends in Texas, and like my friends in Texas, like, hey Sean, you gonna come over to Texas, or I'm gonna buy you a 6-shooter as soon as you get over. Like literally, as soon as I go over to Texas, right? If I do, as soon as I move over to Texas, somebody's going to buy me a 6-shooter. And I think that's fucking awesome, right? I think that's awesome. This is what happens when you let the slow decay rot. Children. Our children are not safe in the United Kingdom. They're not. Let's not pretend our children are safe in the United Kingdom. Let's not pretend. Let's not pretend we don't have a political system that are favoring. Look, and I'm not. Listen, these are not my words. These are not my words. All right. It's the words of the Home Office in the United Kingdom that, I fucking shit you not, the rights of asylum seekers trump the rights of national British. And I'm talking about Epping. I'm talking about the protest in Epping. That actually happened in the United Kingdom. Let's not forget, let's not pretend subversion is not real, okay? Let's not pretend subversion is not real. Right, ladies and gentlemen, oh, hang on, give me 1 second. Googleinos is saying, Sean! Oh, God. Right, Sean, my comment. Read the article, you'll be fuming, right? Googleinos, how far back is it, mate? Because we've got loads of, right, okay, I don't even know how far I'm going to go back. Right, I'm going to try and go far back. Missy Millsy is saying, so Pizzagate was true. I don't know. Listen, every time I want to go and have a pizza, I feel guilty. X82 is saying Britannistan. I don't know, I'm trying to find Googleinos' comments. Can I search? No, I can't. I don't know where these comments are. Googleinos. Sarah is saying, Sean, while you were giving the descriptions and where he was arrested, you seriously look like you're on the edge of sanity. Just like us all, it's shocking. We're all on the edge of sanity, right? We are all absolutely, every human being, if you live in the United Kingdom, right now, you are on the absolute edge of sanity. Everybody is. We're in the edge of sanity. And it's not just that we are on the edge of sanity. We can see what's coming. And it's like we are watching, like, imagine like a tsunami, right? Imagine a tsunami. And it's on its way forwards. And we're watching it. Googleinos, I can't find your comment, mate. Right, so Googleinos said, Sean, my comment, read the article. I can't find your comment, mate. I can't find it. Maybe it was deleted. I don't know. But if you repost it, Googleinos, in the next couple of minutes, I'll be able to read that. I went all the way up there. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I didn't. But no, I definitely missed it. And I do apologize if I miss anyone's comments, you know, because I know a lot of people are commenting. Repost googling us, absolutely, Andrew Rubin, with your six-sided. You know what? Do you know what the six-sided star represents? Yes, a lot of people say it represents Satanism, but I say it oh, hang on. Yeah, do you know what? I've actually seen this. Give me a second. I've actually seen this. So there's a guy who tried to attack yeah, here we are. So here we are. So I'm going to share this with you guys real quick, and then I'll jump back off it because there is a paywall. There is a paywall, but look at his beautiful face. Look at his beautiful face. How do why do terrorists have such beautiful faces? So this is the guy this is the guy we're talking about here. Terrorist inspired by Al Qaeda to be released from prison. Zahid Iqbal's prison offense and community offense order managers both say he should stay in prison to serve the full 16 years. So it turns out, right? Look how beautiful he's a beautiful man, right? He's a beautiful man. He's got a beautiful beard. He's got a beautiful beard, beautiful little hat. Look, ladies and gentlemen, right? And I mean this with 100% sincerity, right? We are heading for civil war in the United Kingdom. There's no like, and if we're not heading to that, and anyone with any intellectual weight, and anyone actually, I don't even care if you've got intellectual weight. If you can put that to me in an intellectual manner. If anyone thinks that the United Kingdom is not heading towards a civil conflict, please put it in the chat, all right? Please put it in the chat. Where we are, we've been infiltrated by immigrants. From the videos I just shared with you guys, Jim Radcliffe, the owner of Manchester United. That's not me saying that, so if anybody wants to knock on my door, and arrest me, I'm not saying that Britain has been colonized by immigrants. I'm just repeating what Jim Radcliffe said. And Jim Radcliffe is saying, the owner of Manchester United, who's a billionaire, who is saying that Britain has already been colonized by immigrants, right? We're letting terrorists out of prison. We're in a wild state of affairs, ladies and gentlemen, right now. We are in a wild state of affairs. And if you live in the United Kingdom, you are living in ground zero. Right now, the United Kingdom is ground zero. That could be a good thing. It could also be a bad thing. Right now, I don't know. However, let me talk about something that's happening over the pond. Donald Trump sat down with Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House for nearly 3 hours. Their seventh face-to-face since Trump returned to the office just over a year ago. The room must have been thick with tension because the stakes couldn't be higher. Iran. Iran's nuclear ambitions, its nuclear missiles, its missile capability, its proxies, spreading chaos across the region and in the United Kingdom. This surprised me. No joint press conference at this time. No cameras flashing as they grinned into the lenses like old mates. Just the quiet exit. Then Trump firing off a Truth social media post. And I love Truth social media. I love Trump, guys. I do. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm Team Trump. I am 100% Team Trump. I think Donald Trump is fucking... I think he's trying to do the best for America, right? He's clearly not trying to do the best for Britain, and I don't hold that against him. What I'm saying is, if you are a world leader, you motherfucker bitches, you need to do the best for your country. So when Donald Trump tries to do the best for America, and people are saying, like people in like, I don't know, Afghanistan, who normally chant, death to America, death to America, death to Trump, all hail Allah. When those people are saying, oh, I can't believe Donald Trump is doing things for, you're like, hang on a minute. You guys fucking hate America. Donald Trump is doing the best for America. Every world leader should do the best for their country. And I respect Donald Trump for that. And I do, and I know there's a lot of dynamics to this. And I know there's a lot of baggage that comes with what I'm saying. And I can articulate each and every point of that. I think Donald Trump is doing the best with what he's got for America. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I do not think it's a bad thing. So Netanyahu flew in. He bumped up the visit because he's not buying a narrow nuclear-only Jerusalem in minutes. He's talking about funding. He's talking about arms to Hezbollah. He's talking about Hamas. The whole axis of resistance. Israel's intelligence says that Iran could be sitting on 2,000 missiles very soon, if not already. That's not theory. That's the nightmare scenario, keeping the Israelis awake at night. Now, whichever way you want to look at this, whichever way you guys want to look at this. And look, hang on, let me jump on this chat real quick. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Right, okay, we're good. We get a lot of I'm not going to go down that road. You know what? Tomorrow I'll do a live stream on that tomorrow. Okay. However, whatever I said then, forget about it, right? Let's not worry about that. Let's just continue. So we are looking at a potential situation where Iran may or may not, and I'm saying may not, have 2,000 missiles, potentially nuclear armed, that they could deploy very soon. Meanwhile, Iran is drawing its own red lines. You guys can look at the mainstream, right? They talk about nuclear... I don't know. Iran talk about nuclear negotiations, sure. But no way, as far as I'm concerned anyway, are they opening up missiles or their support for the militant groups overseas? So you've got like three things here, right? It's so like, you know, and people don't understand how complicated these negotiations are. So first of all, you've got the nuclear talks, right? Right, Iran, stop developing nuclear weapons. Right, yes or no? That's like its own little thing. Okay? Right, Iran, stop developing intercontinental ballistic missiles. That's a separate thing because that's not nuclear. That's a totally separate thing, right? Okay, because you've got nuclear over there. You've got intercontinental ballistic missiles that can also take nuclear weapons, but they're not taking nuclear weapons. They can just be kinetic strike options, right? So you've got those two options. And then you've got the third option is, right, Iran, stop funding your overseas proxies, i.e. sleeper cells Hamas, the terror cells that we see all over the world. So where does that leave us tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Well, first of all, I don't know. Certainly it leaves us on a knife edge because we are all living on a knife edge. The White House is in an absolute balancing act right now because they don't want to deploy Delta Force. And let's not be under any illusion, Delta Force are better than the SEALs. SEAL teams are gay. They're absolutely gay. They're all homosexuals. They probably paint their nails, right? That's what SEAL teams are. They're gay. They're homosexuals. They're the homosexuals of the military. Delta Force are the real workhorses, right? But we are on an absolute knife edge. If we can keep dialogue open, maybe we will be in for a state where we do not end into boots on the ground March 2026. However, I know you guys have, and I know you have. You guys have been following me for a while. Excuse me. And I've been saying that boots on the ground March 2026 is coming, right? I've been saying that. 2 years ago, I said that, even before Trump was elected. So that's where I think that's where I think we're heading. And that's where I really do think we're heading. Right, guys, I'm going to jump up and get some of the comments on the chat. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everyone. How is everyone? Right, let me jump onto that. Eyeball Paul is saying Delta. Listen, Delta are just better. Right. Okay, so if you want to look at like Delta Force and SEALs, right? The SEAL teams would be the kind of guys who go in. I was going to give a sexual analysis there. I'm not going to give a sexual analysis, right? So your SEAL teams would be the guys that take out Bin Laden, right? Because we all know it's SEAL Team 6 who took out Bin Laden. They went in, they took out SEAL, they did whatever, right? Your Delta Force guys, and this is how I roll. This is what gets me. This is what gets me excited, right? This is what gets Raven excited. You go to a country, you deploy into a country, right? You gain the trust of the leadership. You arm and train a rebellion force. You then lead that rebellion force and take over that motherfucking government, right? So as far as I'm concerned, right, SEALs are gay. And the Delta guys who will lead that rebellion, they will go in there. They will make friends with the locals. They will learn the language. They will sit there. They're like what's the word? They're like the Polish tradies. What's Polish tradies? He's like the not the Mushahadin. But when you're operating in certain special forces units, right? You can go in and you can do smash and grab. You can do smash and grab, and it's gay. It's easy. Anyone can do smash and grab. It's fucking gay. Real men take countries. Like SEALs, they're gay. They're probably all gay. U.S. Navy SEALs, and listen, if anyone's U.S. Navy SEALs out there and you want to call me out, I will go toe-to-toe with you guys. I absolutely will. I don't give a flying fuck, right? You guys call me out because you're going to have to, right? So what I'm saying is, if you go and do smash and grab, you're gay. It's a total gay. Why are you gay? If you go into a country, right? You build an army, you train the army, you equip the army, you lead the army, and then you go and overthrow the government and you do some fucking wild shit. That's real tier 1 shit. That is real tier 1 special forces shit, right? The SEALs just can't do that because they're gay. Most of them are painting their nails, right? They're painting their toenails and shit. Anyway, right. Sorry, guys. I went on an absolute right. Sorry. Let me jump back on track because I'm totally going on a side quest here. I'm totally going on a side quest. Right. Let me jump back to this, guys. All right. Let me jump back to this. Googleinos, right? Let's get back into reality, because Googleinos is saying 4 in 10 migrants will challenge labor deportation plans with slavery claims. Yeah. So this comes back to what we said earlier, right? Last time I'm going to share it, guys. That one. Give me a second. So Googleinos there is saying 4 in 10 migrants will challenge labor deportation claims. We have already been colonized in the United Kingdom. We are now a colony of Eritrea, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, wherever, Istan. It's all by design. Right, I'm going to play this because of Googleinos' comment. I'm going to run another way and then I'm going to come back. Give me a second and I will do 2 seconds. No, not yet, but I will do that now. Let me rewind that.
If you really want to deal with the major issues of immigration, with people opting to take benefits rather than working for a living, if you want to deal with that, then you're going to have to do some things which are unpopular and show some courage.
And has this government done that?
No, I think they I don't know whether it's just the apparatus that hasn't allowed Keir to do it, or he's maybe too nice. He's a nice. I mean, I know Keir. He's a nice man. I like him, but it's a tough job, and I think you have to do some difficult things with the UK to get it back on track, because at the moment, I don't think the economy is in a good. You can't afford. You can't have an economy with 9 million people on benefits, and huge levels of immigrants coming in. I mean, the UK is being colonised. It's costing too much money. It will cause. It'll cause. Well, yeah. The UK is being colonised by immigrants, really, isn't it? I mean, the population of the UK was 58 million in 2020. Now it's 70 million. That's 12 million people.
You met recently with Nigel Farage, didn't you?
I did.
Do you think that they would be a good government if they were to win the next election?
I think Nigel is an intelligent man, and I think he's got good intentions, but in a way you could say exactly the same about Keir when Keir came in. I think it needs somebody who's prepared to be unpopular for a period of time to get the big issues sorted out.
So just for context, ladies and gentlemen, Raven, I make a lot of unpopular decisions. I do. I make a lot of unpopular decisions in my professional career. I do. I make a lot of unpopular decisions. People don't like it. But you know what? The people who put me there, they put me there to make those unpopular decisions. They put me there to make those decisions that no one else can. They put me there to be that man that no one else can. And unfortunately, right now, we do not have that. We do not have that, guys. We do not have that. Excuse me. Right. Anyway, right. Listen, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we are the crux of this live stream. I'm just looking at the time right now. America, pay attention, because look, if you are an American from the US of A, you guys really need to pay attention to what's happening in the United Kingdom, because Britain has been colonized. We have been colonized. Like, I could argue some, maybe even Minnesota. Gun Commando is saying Sean's pissed. Listen, I'm just going to put it out there now, right now, okay? I may or may not have found 5 liters of red wine I didn't realize I had. I'm just going to put it out there. Lisa Jane is saying, I think I need a drink. Listen, I think you... Hang on, give me a second. maybe it's not Norway. Oh, there we are, look. Right, okay, so when we're talking about people drinking, right, when we're talking about people drinking and having a little swizzle, all right, right now, if you're alive, it's not the time to be sober. I'm just putting it out there. Look, obviously drink responsibly and all that sort of stuff. But right now is absolutely... Look, this is not me saying it, right? This is not me saying this, right? EU chief diplomat, it's time to start drinking, right? That's what she's saying. High Representative says global events mean now could be a good time to hit the bottle. That's not me. That's not me. That's not my speculation, analysis, or opinion. That is literally hitting the fucking mainstream, right? EU foreign policy chief, somebody, privately told lawmakers the state of the world meant it might be a good moment to start drinking. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I was sober. I'm just going to throw it out there. Callas told leaders of the political groups, the European Parliament, that while she is not much of a drinker, now may be a good time to start, given events around the globe. According to so basically she's saying, what she's saying basically is, maybe right now is not the right time to be sober. And listen, on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, on that bombshell, first of all, you guys have been fantastic. I don't know if you guys are sober or not, but I don't think it's worth going through life at the moment being sober. I think if you're going through the life at the moment being sober, I think you're gay. Right. What I've been talking about in this live stream, although I am like, when I first got onto this live stream, I was 6 glasses of red wine in. I fucking was. I was 6 glasses before I even got. This is how dedicated I am. Before I even sat down here, I was 6 glasses of red wine in. Why? Because I'm the fucking Raven, right? I found 5 liters in a plastic bottle, right, of red wine. I was like, damn, that should be fine. So I drank that. I didn't drink it all. There's a bit left. I then got in here. I had some cider, and I am well wasted right now. Right now, guys, I am absolutely wasted. But the crux of the live stream is still the same, right? It's still the same. If you're American, you guys need to pay attention to what's happening in the United Kingdom, because Britain has already been colonized. We have been colonized. We've been colonized by the third world. So it turns out, if you're all woke and shit, you get colonized, and then your woke shit goes down, and then your economy goes, and then nobody can pay taxes, and then you end up like fucking... I don't even know what you end up like. World War III, the Middle East, we've just had a meeting between Trump and Netanyahu. Nothing's changed, really. And I don't want to jump on here and say, Trump, Netanyahu meet, because I did these videos 2 years ago. March 2026 is the date time applicable for everyone, right? If you're looking at the Middle East, they're the date time group to agree with. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, Danielle's saying she's got the red light warning. She said, read my comment, Randy and his mate being nearly taken out. Oh, God. What's Randy and his mate being taken out by? Right. Sean, read the damn comments. Right, I can't read the damn comments all the time. Sometimes I just go a wild thing. Oh, that's interesting, Googleinos. That is absolute. You know what? I hope he doesn't. Listen. Regardless of whatever else is happening, I don't know what the other comments are going to be, but I hope Radcliffe does not apologize, and I don't think he should apologize. Jesus Christ, what's fucking going on here? Right, I'm going to have to find Danielle's other comment. I can get airplanes to people. I can get airplanes to people real quick. Jesus Christ, I feel guilty. Oh my God, this could be huge. This could be huge. I'm sorry, guys. I was on a monologue. Jesus Christ, do I need to... Right, Danielle, does your friend have money? Right, Danielle, I don't know what your comment is, but does your friend have money? Right, listen, Danielle. Wherever your friend is in the plane, I can get an airplane to him. Does he have money to pay for that? Right? Does he have money to pay for that? Because the people who I speak to, they're going to want paying, right? So, Danielle, I don't know what your comment is. I'm trying to find it, Danielle. I'm trying to find your comment. If you've got money, we can sort this out. If you've not, you know, you have to go through the embassy. Going through me would be a lot quicker and more sufficiently. Right. Right, Danielle, I'm reading your comment now. Do you need to put Raven in action? Because I can get airplanes to anywhere in the world, but it's going to cost you. It's not going to cost me. I'll listen, Danielle. Right. Listen, guys, I'm just trying to jump on this and give as much help as I can. Right, Danielle, if you're still on, and I don't know if you are, but if that's the case and you need people to go in there, Andrew's best pal taken to intensive care after a horrible crash in right, let me jump down. Right, Danielle, are you still on? I don't know if Danielle's still on. I'm married to the B team. I'm fine. Right, listen, guys. I can get airplanes to anywhere in the world. Like anywhere in the world, I can promise you, I can find a pilot. I can find. I did evacuations from Democratic Republic of Congo. I did it within, I want to say 36 hours. 36 hours, right? My friend called me. He said, Sean, we are in the absolute shit. He said, rebels are approaching us. We need an airplane to get us out of there. I said, right, okay. What I said to my friend is, I said, right, mate, have you got money? He said, yes, shitloads. I said, right, that's fine. And if you live your normal 9 to 5, going to Sainsbury's, going to Asda, this is not going to be applicable to you. I said to my friend, I said, right, mate, have you got money? I said, have you got like real money that you can pay me? He said, yeah, absolutely. I said, right, okay, I can sort this out. He phoned me 36 hours. He phoned me, right? He phoned me on like, I don't know, the Monday morning. I said, right, okay, mate, let me fucking hold it, right? Within 36 hours, and this is quick, that's quick, that whether you think it's quick, I had a, what was it, an Antonov 2, an AN2. An Antonov 2 landed on a fucking shitty runway, picked him and all the staff up. They took them, they flew out of fucking, you know, they were safe. When they're in the air, they're safe. Landed them in another airfield. I had a private plane waiting for those guys, and then they went. All right? That's how Raven rolls. 36. It didn't take me 36 hours. It took me like 12. It took me like less than an hour to sort that out. It took 12 hours for the planes to be refueled, for those guys to get everything, for the money to be transferred. Listen, this is how Raven rolls. This is how the Raven rolls. If anybody's got any friends or relatives in like those places in the world that need evacuating, I can do that shit. I can do it real quick, but you've got to pay. You guys have got to pay. Yeah, Lisa Jane is saying, Sean, it's Prince Andrew's best mate in a plane crash. Who would have thought it, ladies and gentlemen? They are taking everyone in and around this scenario down. Look, ladies and gentlemen, the world is wild. The world is wild. It's crazy. The one thing I'm going to say to each and every one of you guys is, first of all, keep watching my live streams because I give you guys real-time analysis of what is going on. Sean shouldn't be allowed on the internet when he's pissed. I agree. I shouldn't be allowed to do a lot of stuff when I'm drunk, ladies and gentlemen. But unfortunately, that is the way the world works. And that's how we roll, ladies and gentlemen, on a Wednesday afternoon. Anyway, look, guys, I'm going to close this down now. Let me get Lisa Jane's comment back up on there. So as Lisa Jane's saying, Prince allegedly, so look, I don't, allegedly, and for entertainment purposes, Prince Andrew's best friend has been taken down in a plane crash. Now, you guys can say whatever you want about this. It's totally up to you. What I will say to everyone right now, you guys especially, you're feeling me fam one time, I'm feeling you one time. I love you guys, and you guys, I can feel the love. I can feel the love. The world is changing. The world is absolutely changing. I don't think this time, and I said this in 2025, right? I said this in 2025. I said this in 2025. I said in December 2025, I said December 2026, we are going to look at December 2025 and we are going to think, wow, how fucking wild were things? Oh, I've got another one. Hang on. So Googleinos is saying Canada school shooting latest police. Right, hang on. Let me try and find this. Oh, I spelled latest wrong. Let's do that one. Right, 6 minutes ago. Right, I'm going to throw this on the BBC. So this is from the BBC, ladies and gentlemen. So nobody can argue that it's fake news because it's clearly not. Because if it comes from the BBC, it's hashtag real news, right? So police name suspect in Canada school shooting as 18-year-old Jesse Van... Jesse Van, I'm just going to say it there. I can't pronounce that second name. Mental fucking hell. Always, guys. Always. Mental health support available. Police name. Here we are. Here's the thing here. Police name suspect and release details after. Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know, there's been a shooting in Canada. I didn't really want to touch on this because it's not really my area of responsibility. My area of responsibility is the United Kingdom. But you know what? I think we are in a multipolar world right now, so I think it's fair. So this is from like a couple of minutes ago. We have just received a lot of information regarding the shooting in Tumbler Ridge yesterday. Here's what we've learned from Deputy Commissioner of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. The suspect was named as Jesse Von something, 18. Wow, 18 years old. So first of all, look at the ages of these people. Remember what I said previously about you would normally associate shooters, terrorists, and I know this is not terrorist, with people in their 30s, early 40s, whatever. You know, it turns out 13 and 18-year-old is the whatever. So the suspect was a biological male who approximately 6 years ago began to transition to female. So this is a trans shooting. We're in a fucking wild world, guys. We're in a wild world. If anybody's ever watched or read any of Philip K. Dick's books, I suggest you do that. The updated death toll from the school stands at 1 female, 2 male students, and 3. Hang on. 1 female teacher, educator, 2 male students, and 3 female students. It was confirmed that 2 people who had been shot in a nearby home were the suspects. What? Hang on. It was, let me just, sorry guys, I'm struggling to read this. It was confirmed that the 2 people who had been shot in a nearby home were the suspect's mother and stepbrother. What the fuck? Who shoots their own mum? Jesus. We're in for wild times. Police were called to the home after they were called after the shooting. I mean, I don't even know where I go with this. I think the people to blame for this are the woke-ariety, the people who encourage this, the people who encourage this sort of like craziness. Sometimes I don't even know what to say. It's like, okay, do you have a penis? Yes. Okay, you're a man. No, I'm a woman. Oh, do you have a vagina? No. Right, you're a man. Oh, you're racist. Fucking hell, right? Just calm down. Literally, just calm down. I don't even know where to go with this because it's so wild. Googling us is saying they say 2 further victims, a 39-year-old female, oh God, an 11-year-old male were found at a local home. Can we all just agree? Right, look, guys, I am going to close this down in a second, right? But can we all just agree, right? Can we all just agree? Oh, hang on. Philip K. Dick was a sorcerer. He may or may not be a sorcerer, but his content is fantastic. Can we all just agree, right? Can we all just agree that children are out of bounds? Should we all just agree that? Whether you are trans, gay, left, right, Muslim, Christian, whatever. In fact, actually, when was the last time there was a mass shooting conducted by a Christian? I don't know. Maybe that was, I don't know. Can we all just agree that children are out of bounds? Are out of bounds? I think we should all just agree children are out of bounds. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm shit-faced. I'm absolutely shit-faced, right? I'm going to be back on 10 o'clock in the morning. I hope I'm going to be going to the gym tomorrow morning. I think I will because I'm fucking rock and roll and I'm an absolute alpha. I'll be back in the gym tomorrow morning. I'll be back on the gym tomorrow morning. I'll be back on the live stream tomorrow morning at 10. The world's wild. Americans, if you're paying attention, you need to pay attention because Britain's already been colonized. World War III, we're looking like boots on the ground in Iran, March 2026. And on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, I'll bid you good looking, fantastic, amazing people, good evening. I'll see you in the morning. TikTok to call it divide, das bedanya.